Hi, Rick here, creator and indeed all things at the Splendid Photography Explained podcast, if I do say so myself. It's getting a bit more exaggerated, that, isn't it? Episode 173, what are you trying to do with your photography talky bit? There are 8 stages of being a photographer. Stage 1, I like the sound of photography, but I need to figure out where to start. Stage 2, I enjoy taking photos with my phone. I want to learn how to take better photos. 3, I want to learn photography and take the best photos that I can. 4, I've already got a camera, but I don't know what to do. 5, I love taking photos, but haven't got a clue where to start with editing my photos. 6, I want to take the best photos that I can and earn some money from my photography. 7, I want to make a full-time living from photography. 8, I want to be the best photographer in the world. Those were the 8 different parts of this, and we're all in there somewhere, so the talky bit goes like this. Which of these 8 are you? Which of these do you want to be? There is a serious point I want to make here. If you're happy as you are taking photos with your phone, your photos are as valid as those taken by a professional photographer. Now, how can I possibly justify this statement? Simple. Your photos are as valid to you as my photos are to me, and as any professional photographer's photos are to them, and let's always remember that. See, I've discussed photography snobbery in a blog post on my website, which you can read at rickmcavoyphotography.com. Yep, excuse the shameless plug there, but seriously, there's too much snobbery in photography, or there certainly has been. No, photography is for everyone, and in this series of episodes I want to help everyone to take better photos, and I will be applying what I talk about to myself as well. Yep, I'm in this as well with you. So you have a starting point wherever you are on the scale, and maybe now you've thought about it, you might have a different end point, you never know. And that was part of the point of this episode, to make me look less bright, which I'm just going to do something about now. That's better, isn't it? Slightly better, yeah. So you got a starting point wherever you are on the scale, and maybe you've now got a different end point. That was the point of this episode, to get you to think about where you want to go with your photography and what the possibilities are. And whilst there is a ton of complicated photography stuff out there, you don't need to know everything. No, start with the basics and build from there. I spent over 40 years getting to the point where my photography has been simplified to a minimum, both in terms of the technical stuff that I do, how I take my photos, and how I process them. Having simplified things for myself, I tell you what I do, what I know, and equally importantly, what you do not need to know, what you don't need to worry about. Photography is for everyone. Don't let the technical stuff feel like a barrier stopping you from getting into photography. We can make photography as complicated or as simple as we want. I want to make it as understandable as possible for all. And you can always ask me a question, I'll answer it. See, I've got you covered, haven't I? Yes, you have, Rick. Sorry, I've just adjusted the brightness there because I was far too bright, which can't be good for anybody, can it? So, what do you want out of your photography? The amount you want will dictate the time and effort you're prepared to put in. And what are you going to do with your photos, and who is going to see them? Of course, the two are related, and these two things together are a great starting point. What do you want out of your photography? Who is going to see your photos? But whatever your aspirations, photography is a wonderful thing and a thing to be enjoyed. It's not about the gear, it's not about the technical side of things, and the best way to take better photos is to practice. Yes, get out there and put interesting stuff in front of your camera lens. What matters in photography, thinking about it in its purest sense, is what is in the photo that someone is looking at, the final image. Someone looking at your photo only cares about what they can see, what they're looking at. This is why the next episode is about composition, what you include in a photo and how. Yeah, the art of photography is what you put in a photo, and a more interesting composition equals a more interesting photo. So, coming up shortly, episode 174, but if you haven't listened to episode 173, check it out at all good podcast providers, and there's also the podcast website, photographyexplainedpodcast.com. Finally, if you want to receive an email from me once a week, just head over to the podcast website, fill in the form, and on Friday you'll get an email from me. How lovely. Okay, thanks for watching. Take care, stay safe, Cheers from me, Rick.